All right, hi, good morning. I'm Nick. I'm a solution engineer together with Cisco, specifically under the Splunk business unit. Today, thank you. I wanted to thank Trends for inviting me today to give you guys a little bit talk about building digital resilience. Right. I'm from Malaysia itself. I'm very happy to come to Manila, to Philippines. It's actually my very first time. You guys are extremely friendly. Right. So let me just get right ahead into our topic today, building digital resilience. Right. A little bit of insight to what I'm going to talk today. Right. With a lot of new digital technologies coming up with different deployment models. We're talking about on-prem, public cloud, or even hybrid tools, right? And even SaaS solutions itself. How do you be able to actually take a look at what's actually happening in your entire environment, right? We're talking about logs coming in from your endpoint, logs coming in from your infrastructure as a service, right? Platform as a service, or even third-party tools when it comes to monitoring your application. How do you actually correlate and have full visibility into your entire ecosystem, right? And with data breaches coming in, how do you know that data is being exfiltrated out through your firewall itself? How do you be able to actually figure out where it's going? How do you do the correlation and map through your entire threat intel platform to be able to get the true insights that you actually need to take a look at it? And lastly, especially when it comes to running an SOC, an efficient SOC, is to be able to get the right skill set itself, right? With skills shortage running out everywhere, how do you make sure that your new hires, your junior SOC have the insights to do the specific incident response when it comes to taking a look at this, right? So if you refer to the ESG SOC Trends report of 2023, that's what they have figured out by interviewing security leaders in conglomerates in companies all around the world, and they figure out these five pillars right here is the main problem they are trying to tackle and face every single day, right? So how do we pivot itself? And we talk about preventable incidents, right? 2 out of 3 incidents are actually all preventable. They're stated by security leaders, right? A lot of this can be prevented if they have a proper modern security operations itself, right? So, in 84% of the organization, they claim that improving efficiency is actually one of their main goals. And how do we improve proper security efficiencies? Is by driving something called an SOC modernization, right? With attack vectors being increasing, with threat actors being a lot more smarter and powered by AI, how do we adapt your ongoing SOC to be able to match the newfound attacks, the new modern threat actors around right here, right? And through SOC modernization, you want to be able to have detection, investigation, and response as a top priority when it comes to achieving digital resilience itself, right? So, one thing is, what is actually digital resilience? All right, digital resilience is actually the ability to be able to prevent, to detect, to recover, and also to respond to any event that has the potential to disrupt your business's process and services, right? You wouldn't want, just because of a threat actor, just because of a ransomware attack coming in and prevent you from continuing your business, suffering losses of money due to services unavailability itself, right? And to be able to achieve digital resilience itself, right? How do we able to actually use tools that's in our hands right now to be able to achieve that? So when we talk about SOC itself, SOC tools itself, in the current gen right here, we're talking about tools that potentially does not work together, that's limiting visibilities, giving you that siloed visibilities into your specific tools, right? You have your on-prem environment, you would go to your EDI, your endpoint, to get endpoints logs, right? If you're going to your cloud, you might be going to your cloud provider to get those logs. How do you be able to correlate events across different environments, right? We're talking about threat detection, right? You can get out-of-the-box threat detection, but how do you adapt to newer threats, to adapt to new attack tactics that's coming in, right? How do you be able to adjust to those threat detection? And of course, a lot of manual efforts are coming in. With tools coming in that's just giving you, hey, I have an alert coming in itself, right? What you're supposed to do next, right? Am I going to go ahead and see or scan the malware file manually? If I have 1 or 2 instances, sure, I'll do it, right? But if you have hundreds or maybe potentially thousands of attack coming in, I'm not going to do it manually by myself, right? And of course, with SOC workflows, with your own SOPs, how do you make sure that your SOC analyst, your L1 to L3, knows what to do in respect of your SOPs, right? What is your playbook? What happens if I have a DDoS attack? What should the analyst be able to do? When should I escalate to the level 2 itself, right? And of course, with all this disjointed tool itself, you are increasing your MTDD, your mean time to detect, and your mean time to respond. So we need to look at what can we empower your security analysts, right? What can we improve your entire security operations center itself? So when you're looking at a potential tool, these are some things that you might want to consider, right? You want to be able to embrace federated data access by joining different data sources together into a single platform, right? To a single platform that you can collaborate, most importantly. So you have the full visibility of what actually happens in the entire attack kill chain. You want to be able to transform threat detection by leveraging on foundational AI. We're talking about machine learning, right? Combing through data, having proper risk-based alertings to reduce alert fatigue and alert storms, right? And also to reduce dwell times. So your SOC analyst is not just sitting down doing manual tasks, right? We are deploying full-scale automation, to coupling your SIM and your SOAR tool together with your EDR tool. How do you do proper threat detection and incident response, right? And of course, with your newfound security analysts, giving them generative AI capabilities to be able to ask questions. Hey, in a chat fashion, what is happening right here, right? If an alert comes in, I have a chat bot, I'll be able to talk to it, converse with it, and talk, hey, what's actually happening right here? Could you explain it to me? This way, your level 1 SOC could potentially be enhanced to be a level 3 security analyst itself, right? And lastly, to have a full unified threat detection and incident response runbook itself. Because by unifying different teams, because right now you could potentially have a network team just taking care of network, you have an endpoint team taking care of network, how do they talk together, right? Having a platform, a consistent platform where they can collaborate together and do that proper incident response. So with all these things that I mentioned right here, right? This is essentially what the SOC of the future could potentially look like. Everything is guided by different features, different capabilities. We're talking about security monitoring. We're talking about threat detection, coupled together with threat intelligence from Cisco, right? We have fully automated, orchestrated and automated response. And then if you're further along in your threat maturity, in your security maturity, we can potentially do threat investigation and hunting, right? Everything is coupled together through an AI-guided platform, so you can make true decisions and also cut down the time needed to do your investigation, all right? So in Splunk and Cisco, right, we have worked together with a lot of customers to figure out what's the best way to help you, right? Of course, everybody is unique. Every customer is unique. You have your own different challenges. But if we were to look into in a higher level and boil it down, we have formed something called a security maturity model itself. And it leads you towards a path of digital resilience, right? We have boiled it down to four main categories itself in your security maturity journey. So we start with foundational visibility, right? Foundational visibility means that you are able to see what's actually happening. Do you have gaps in your environment? If I were to ask you what's actually happening in your application, can you tell me what's actually happening through your logs? Do you have access to those logs? And then once you have all of these data sources coming in, how do you know what you want to do with it? Through guided insights. So you'll be able to diagnose issue, to resolve issue with contextual insights itself. Once you have that insights, how do you want to be able to react to those incidents? We're talking about proactive response, getting ahead of issues. If you're doing threat hunting, you're looking for problems in your environment itself. And lastly, you want to bring teams together, right? Your network, your endpoint, they are no longer just siloed teams. They are your entire security teams that come together, work on a collaborative platform, and have a unified workload. So that way, you won't have network team just talking from a network context. You won't have your endpoint team talking about an endpoint context. Everybody's looking at the same artifact, the same information itself. So in this foundational use cases itself, right? In these 4 pillars itself, these are the use cases you can see that's aligned inside. Of course, not every customer is going to be able to just do pillar by pillar. You might move between left to right and then back to left again, right? You might start with security monitoring, right? If you don't have a full security monitoring, and then if you believe, hey, I'm getting threat intel internally, I want to also understand what are the other threat actors that's coming in. Right? With Cisco Talos integrated with Splunk Enterprise Security, you will have threat intelligence enrichment itself. So you'll be able to get full first-hand knowledge on what are the threat vectors outside and to know what to secure within your environment itself. And of course, these are just not an exhaustive list, but something that you can start, right? So when we talk with our customers that has embarked on a journey together with Cisco and Splunk, we brought them along to the journey to bring them and mature their entire security operation. And this is what we have found, right? Across hundreds of customers that we have built, and that goes through every single of this pillar, 60% of them have found reduction in data and visibility gap. They have found more data that they have not been able to see. They'll be able to ingest into and have full visibility. 60%, right, have reported reduction in false positives alerts, driving down mean time. That means that I'm not focusing on things that I shouldn't focus. I'm looking at things that has better fidelity, right? So you'll be chasing down the actual threats inside your environment. 90% having a reduction in mean time to detect and mean time to respond. That way giving you a higher resilience and better uptime in SLA, right? And lastly, 80% of them reported faster investigation and remediation of security incident. They're no longer just sitting down, hey, I found my level 1 security analyst found an incident for my endpoint. Let me pass it to my endpoint team, right? And then they start their own investigation from the scratch. None of that matters anymore. Because that way, with a proper collaboration tool, you'll be able to share insights, share attributes to be able across the team and look at the same exact thing, right? So a key takeaway is that you want to be able to find a platform that actually empowers your entire security operation team to be able to actually collaborate, empower them with the right tools, with risk-based alerting to reduce alert noises itself, and of course, coupling AI into your entire environment to give them the proper insights that they need to run your entire security operation team itself, right? So with that, I hope that you actually learn a little bit about what Cisco and Splunk will be able to bring together with you, together with our partners with Trend as well, right? So I want to ask, how are you achieving digital resilience? Are you still continuing with your own team, with your operation, or do you want to adopt something a lot more modern, a lot more efficient that can empower your security team itself to properly secure and give you digital resilience? Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Nick Lowe. Continue to be passionate about keeping the world secure.
Thank you.
Just as Nick mentioned earlier, he mentioned about the 4 pillars that were important. We do have the foundational visibility, guided insight, proactive response, and the unified workflow. There's a lot of comparison between the past in terms of technology shift in SOC, so from the past to the future. So empower your security SOC, security analysts. We have to empower them, give them what they need to help protect and make us more secure enabling us to be our digital resilience. So we have prevent, recover, response, okay? We have to detect. And what is the future? Well, we have the federated data access, so full visibility, transformation, threat detection, automation, leverage AI. You know, all these are interesting. So I hope that you enjoy them. Take down the notes.
Tomorrow has come today. From cryptocurrencies to the metaverse, digitalization is consuming our world at a velocity few could have imagined. Automation, IoT, AI, with so many technology options and endless possible compositions of these technologies, you won't find the answer in a Google search. For 30 years, Trends has been at the forefront of technological transformation, discovering what works and what doesn't. We have 30 years of journeying together with our clients. Long nights discovering what's important for them and letting that define their digital transformation. Most importantly, we have 30 years of learning and affirming that we are all better together. So what's right for you in this digital age? Let's discover it together towards digital transformation and beyond.